I don't know what I'm doing. Hello everybody. Welcome back, because technically I've uploaded and I have 18 subscribers. I'm gonna be doing a what I read in March video, because what better way to come back to YouTube after taking breaks for no reason. Yeah, I'm just gonna talk about the books that I read in March and we're just gonna have a fun time. So here we go. So first off, I started the month with a classic. Okay, not a real classic, but a classic in my heart. Which, speaking of heart, was Heartstopper Volume 3. Yes, I'm holding up Volume 4. This is the only one I own, but I did reread all of Heartstopper. It was a 5 out of 5. They've never not been a 5 out of 5. They are the cutest things in the entire world. They're so cute, and I love them. I freaking love them. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what else to say about it. If you need something that's happy, while also dealing with serious problems that are sad, while also just being cute and romantic and fluffy and fun and just easy to read, I'd recommend Heartstopper. 5 out of 5. The next book I read was called, or I finished. I started it and I read this book for about a month, which you can kind of already tell what my rating might be. Is My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. I gave this book a 3.25 out of 5 stars. Not great. I honestly bumped it up because, like, just a tiny little bit, because of how the ending was, because the ending was like the best part of the whole book and actually made the whole book. It was like so slow paced and boring, and then all of a sudden in the last fourth it was like boom. It was like boom, and I was like, where was this the whole book? Where were you? But overall I really liked it. No, not overall I liked it. I liked the ending. I liked the ending. The ending was 5 out of 5. The rest was like 2 stars, and that averaged out to 3 in my head. I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about it. It was like a really weird read, because I was like bored, but for some reason felt compelled to know how the story ended and how everything resolved, so I continued reading. But at the same time I was like, I'm bored, so I don't know what that means. The next book I also don't have because I put it in the library, which is From Blood and Ash by Jennifer Armentrout. I currently have the next 2 books in the series because my friend is lending it to me, which we love. We love friends that lend books to you. But it's the first book in a romance fantasy series. It's even in like the romance section. Like, it's a romance fantasy first and foremost. I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars and I loved it. I loved it, and I also highly recommend the audiobook. I had the audiobook and then I had it on like Libby, which is like a library platform that I highly recommend checking out, and I loved it. It was so fun, and like when I finished it there was like a big plot twist at the end, and I called my boyfriend and I forced him. I was ranting to him about a magical world that he had no idea about, and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe X, Y, and Z. I was I was ranting. 4 out of 5 stars. I would definitely recommend this book to people that are trying to get into fantasy, that really like romance, or just like plot twists, and you want to try to figure out if you can figure out the plot twist, because I did not see it coming. Now, I never see plot twists coming, so that's not really anything crazy. The next book is Heartbones by Colleen Hoover. I am a Colleen Hoover fan. It's the last video on my channel, or one of the videos on my channel. I don't know. It was in defense of Colleen Hoover, and I read this book. It's the only Colleen Hoover book I own. I annotated it. Now, I don't really annotate books unless they're classics. Colleen Hoover, not a classic, but I felt compelled to have a fun experience while annotating a book and not like, I'm annotating freaking Crime and Punishment by Friday. But I just really wanted to annotate a Colleen Hoover book because I felt like it would be really, really fun. And just like a fun little thing to do, you know? So I did, and honestly, I had a great time like talking to the book and being like, oh my god, I can't believe this. It made this experience a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I don't know, there was something, I think it's because I didn't relate to this book as much that I didn't give it that full 5 out of 5, but I think it could have also been. I think I'm just like ranking Colleen Hoover. But this is an underrated Colleen Hoover book. Okay, this is a great book. I would recommend it to romance readers. Or just like, I like sad books. I would also recommend it to people that are like, I love sad books. This is definitely a worthwhile Colleen Hoover read because some of them are misses. I love this book and I would say it's worth. And then after that, I hit a reading slump. I hit a wall I couldn't finish books. I kept starting and reading the first 10 pages of books and then putting it down, making it so that I only read 6 books this month. I found this book at a bookstore and I was like, you know what my favorite thing is books about books. And so I picked up a book called Must Love Books by Shauna Robinson is going to be my guess, but I don't know how to pronounce the first name. But it's called Must Love Books, and I found out as I was reading it that it's blurred by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So if you like Taylor Jenkins Reid, she liked this book, just so y'all know. But I absolutely loved this book. I thought it was so fun. I did give it a 4.75 out of 5 stars. As you can see, I'm very stingy with my ratings. I only give like 5 out of 5s to like books that are my favorite. So if I don't give something a 5 out of 5, but I give it a 4 or up, that is basically 5 out of 5. It just means that it's not like my personal favorite. But I would reread this book. Like, it's basically, this book is about a coming of age story, but an adult. It's like, she's like 28 or something like that. And she works at this publishing company and she hates her job. She hates her job. She just hates it. And it was just so interesting to see how she figured out what she wanted to do, had inspirations, and also how she combined love with that. And love was like a subplot of this book. I thought it was going to be the whole book, and I was like, why is this book not in romance? And then I found out why. It was because it's a really big subplot, and it's almost like, how can you having a crush on someone or having a kind of love relationship with someone blend into you figuring out how you want to solve your life? It's almost like that was the question of this book. And I loved it. I loved it so much. I can't wait to reread this book. Like, I just loved it. And it was like a book I bought on a whim. I didn't even notice that Taylor Jenkins Reid blurbed it. That would have been enough for me, but I didn't notice. It was just an on a whim book, and I loved it. It was so good. So I recommend, if you like coming of age, or if you're like, what am I doing with my life? I would recommend this book to help you figure it out. So, and the next 2 books, one of them is a graphic novel. Again, I was in a reading slump, okay? Last month I read like 14 books, and this month I read 7. So, the 6th book I read this month, Fruit Basket, by, I don't even know, Netsuke Takaya? I don't know. I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars because I have reread this like 4 times, and I'm watching the anime, and I absolutely love the anime. I just loved it. It's so fun and whimsical. It's basically about this girl who falls into a family who are cursed with becoming like the animals of the Chinese zodiac. What more could I want in life? Nothing. I want to be this girl on the cover. I want to be her, and I want to marry Soma. This is how much I want to marry him. That's him. He's my wallpaper on my phone. I love it. I love this book. I love the story. I love the families. Have I read the rest of the books? No. These are expensive. I think my aunt got this for me at like a flea market. Okay, listen, manga is really expensive, and it's like 20 bucks for a book, or like more. Like, I just haven't bought it. So if someone would like to buy the whole entire series for me, it's like 23 novels. And they only, I checked on my library, they have the 6th book and up. What am I supposed to do with that? I have to buy 6 books, or like 5 books, just to start reading it from my library? What is wrong with you? Why would my library system do that? I don't know. 5 out of 5. Would recommend if you're looking for an easy read and you like the Zodiac family and you want something like cheesy and fun. It's just a light read. I don't know. And the last book that I finished is The Roughest Draft by Emily Wibberely and Austin Siegmund-Broka. This book was so cute. Again, I went for a genre that I felt safe in, which was romance about people in the book world. This book is about 2 writers who hate each other, so it's also enemies to lovers. Mwah. Chef's kiss. We love a respectful enemies to lovers. Okay, we like questionable men, but we don't like horrible men, alright? This book was so cute. It was so cute, and it felt so real because they would always like bicker and fight, but it wasn't like, I hate you. I don't know. It wasn't like horrible fighting where they're like calling each other horrible names. It was just like normal bickering. And basically, they're enemies. They don't like each other. We don't know why. And then they come together because they have to co-write a book because of a contract. So they come together and then they just like hang out, and they're writing this book together, and they just have to spend a lot of time together. And one of them is divorced, one of them is engaged, but the engagement is kind of failing because she's marrying a guy that's very egotistical and is just a jerk. And I just, I loved it. I had so much fun. I rated it 4.5 out of 5 stars because I just loved it. I'm going to reread this at some point in my life, which is why I'm so happy that I own it. And I bought this also on a whim. I was like, oh, the Roughest Drafts? Oh, it's about people that write? I like to write. So I bought it. And it was great. And I loved it. And I felt so real. This book felt like a real story. Like real people were on the page. Those are all the books I read in March. It wasn't crazy this month. I've done crazier. But also reading one book in a month is a big deal. So it's really just like, for me, this wasn't a lot of books, but in the scheme of reading, I read a lot of books. So anyways, that's my video for today. I hope you guys liked it. Hopefully I'll be posting more, but honestly, who knows? I don't know. I'm about to go film another one because I'm feeling crazy. So anyways, that's it. I hope that you guys have a great day. Also, look at my nails. Ooh, pink and long, yummy. Okay, I'm gonna go now. So bye.